SharePoint doesn't have to look ugly or clunky or dated. And I'm going to prove it to you in this video by showing you my favorite top 5 SharePoint designs. My name's Dougie Wood and I am a Microsoft MVP. I've been working with SharePoint for the past 20 years, deploying designs just like this for organizations all over the world. So if you need help with SharePoint and making it look good, there's a link in the description below to contact me. Okay, so we're going to start off with our first design example, which I like to call the blueprint. An example here is for a construction company, but the same layout could be used for loads of different types of organizations. It's just obviously the imagery and the context is going to change. That's the beauty of these types of designs. You can pick a template like this and make it really your own. You can change the colors. So we've got with quite a dark background here, and they've got this orange color, which goes nicely with a lot of the kind of hard hats and other kind of protective equipment imagery that we're using. Across the top, you can also see their color theme, their orange on the navigation bar, as well as the title is using the orange. And you can see the imagery is obviously very much aligned to a construction company, but it's dead easy to change that. We've got Toolbox Talks. So for construction companies, this is like a type of news essentially, which is all about health and safety. You've got general company news, and then you've got employee of the month. Now, actually, these are all news items, and by clicking through to them, you can actually see the full kind of article. Why was that person nominated as employee of the month? What have they done to go above and beyond? Further down the page, we've got this quick links web part. Now, this is actually very large kind of tiles, and we can use either, these are actually Microsoft icons, and they've got loads, hundreds, if not thousands of different icons. You can upload your own icons, or like as shown here, you could also use imagery as well. You don't have to use icons, but these could be nice quick links which are taking your users to different areas of the intranet, or even linking to anything that has a URL, so going to an external website or app. Maybe further down, we could embed things like lists. So for example, having a project tracker, so we could actually find out details of the different projects that are kind of currently being worked on, and then drill down further into them, and maybe opening up some files or folders that have been created to make it easier for people to access. Even have things like FAQs, how do I submit expenses, or how do I book annual leave? These are types of things which are often asked, and actually as we're looking at AI in the future, like Copilot, having FAQs, knowledge bases in SharePoint makes it much easier for employees to ask these questions, and it can surface this information. I'd also recommend when you're building out FAQs, you could also have it look like the answers are coming directly from specific people. So for example, how do I submit expenses? You can put here the CFO, it might be the people director or the HR director. It just means those answers usually carry a bit more weight. People tend to trust them a little bit more if essentially it's pinned to a particular person's name. So that's our first example, the blueprint. The next example we're going to take a look at is called the hub. Now, this layout is really nice and very simplistic. You can see we've got this search bar in the middle here, so we could be searching for forms, templates, policies, procedures, things like that. We also have this quick links navigation bar, which means that we can jump directly to things that users are going to want to access, like help desk or employee directory, submitting expenses, or even viewing things like Power BI reports, all just at a click of a button. We've also got a navigation bar across the top. We've got these nice, large, much larger text, so it's nice and easy for people to see, as well as on the drop-down bar. We can have 3 layers, so you can see this top layer here, we've got employee resources, then underneath this we've got new hire onboarding area and a training area. So this is nice and simple. Then as we scroll down the page, you can see we've got this news area here. Now this is a really nice way of displaying it, very simplistic. I also like with this particular SharePoint design that you have the ability to actually filter based on different types of news. So on the previous example we looked at, there was different types of news. We had company news, and we also had those Toolbox Talks as a category, but they were fixed on the page. The user themselves couldn't actually choose to filter them down, whereas we can actually use these different buttons to say, if I'm only interested in announcements or events or people, I can actually drill down to different types of news categories in live time on the page. Further down, we've got our holidays and events, and this is actually a calendar picker. So we can choose different dates or a range of dates, and this will actually update these entries on the right of the calendar. On the right hand side, we've got contacts. And the cool thing I like about this is as it flips over, you can see more information. So these are maybe key contacts that is very useful for like when people are onboarding new starters, who should they reach out to? Or potentially if you're a larger organization, you're an enterprise, potentially it could be these are key contacts for the intranet. That if you wanted some content posted, the key people that you could reach out to is a really useful feature of this particular SharePoint intranet example. Further down, we then have employee resources. Now, this employee resources area essentially is another navigational area that people can scroll through and see different tiles or cards, if you like. And again, we can actually do what we call targeting, which means that people can see different links dependent on different groups that they're part of. So it might be, say, for example, if you're part of the managers group, you could see a tab here called managers. Whereas if you weren't part of the managers group, you wouldn't see this tab. This is very common for things like managers toolkit. So if there was information that managers needed to get access to in terms of like disciplinaries, one-to-ones, onboarding new starters, all the things that a manager would need to know to do their role better, they will actually have a tab, whereas an end user who is not a manager would not see this. And the same goes for things like new employees. There might be certain things that you would see there that other staff don't need to know. So here's a slight variation on the hub. So you can see we've still got this nice navigation bar across the top, and it's very similar in the way it looks to the last one. However, you can see it's got a transparent navigation. So it's separate to the way the previous one looked, where it was very solid across the top. Whereas actually this is very subtle. It sits very nicely on the page. We've also got a large bit of text here. And again, this is actually a scroller. So these are really good for kind of key announcements, key things that you want to make sure that people that are landing on the intranet are actually seeing straight away. So rather than it being about search box and navigational items, this is much more leaning towards that communication style rather than it being more navigational. We've also got the same kind of news, but we can see we've only got 2 tiles here. So again, I always tell my customers to think about, as part of their SharePoint design, how much news do you actually need on the homepage? So say, for example, if you're only going to create a news item every month, then here we've got 2 news items, which would mean it's 2 months worth of content. Whereas on the previous one, we might have had, say, 4, but that's 4 months. So it depends on how often you're creating news, would depend on how many items you wish to display. But again, we can filter them down by different categories. We've also got this shortcuts area here, which again is jumping into those key areas. We can also target this. So different users could see different navigational links dependent on what country they're in or what department or team or job role that they're in, because it's all based on what groups that you add them into. Users can even choose to add their own links, so it's their own personal links as well on the page as well, which I think is fantastic. Further down, we've got staff directory. So this is, say for example, if you don't want to necessarily just have some key contacts on the page, but you actually want people to be able to filter by location, by department, and actually find people. This is a fantastic web part that you have built directly into your intranet homepage. Again, further down, we've then got our key contacts and we've got our upcoming events. And this is a really nice, simple, clean design. If you like this design, it's actually been provided by a company called Origami, and there's a link in the description below for more information about how you can get your hands on these designs. So here's our third design, and it's called the bank. And the bank essentially is a lot more corporate. It's really good for those kind of financial service type of organizations or larger enterprises. We have our kind of top navigation bar, which is slightly smaller, a little bit more subtle. We've got our mega menu, so we have got drop downs, and we can see, for example, under who we are, it might be our company, people, values, careers, and then underneath, say, people, we could have senior leadership, board of directors. Under values, we could be listing out innovation, diversity, environment, things like that. And these could all link off to other pages that give more information to our employees. Then underneath this, you can see we have our carousel area. Now this could be made up of quick links, navigational links like linking to expense requests, forms libraries, but it could also have news items so that they see it directly when they land on the intranet homepage. Then on the right hand side, you can see we've actually got this secondary content area. Now the main content area only takes up about 2/3 of the page. Whereas on the right hand side, we've got this slightly smaller area, maybe it's only taking up about 1/3, and it's a secondary content area. So it means you can get more on the page without people having to scroll down. Now, typically we see things like world clocks, or maybe even call to actions like countdown timers to an event, things like that in this type of area. We might have news. So often on a much larger enterprise intranet, you have a lot of different types of news. So you might have, say, My News, which is targeted to you based on the country that you're in, or the department or job title. You could actually have that news being very specific to the user that's currently looking at it. Then we might have more of an all news area, which could be rolling up from multiple different areas of the intranet. Typically, a SharePoint intranet will be made up of multiple different department sites, and those department sites can have their own news, which then roll up onto the homepage. Then on the right-hand side, on the secondary area, you can see we've got these My Recent sites. And having a personalized area so that user themselves can see the sites they've recently accessed just makes it a lot quicker to get back to areas that they know they've been accessing recently. Then we can have what we call a call to action web part. So this might be, for example, if you want to get feedback or whistleblower form, or maybe it's signing up to an event. You can change the background image, you can change the text, and even the text of the button. It's very, very flexible. Then further down, we've got these kind of content areas. So these are actually images, but we could also, if we wanted to, embed videos as well with a little bit of text, and again, little buttons. We could also have company events. So if you had events coming up, whether they be physical or virtual, you could have a calendar of those that people can then choose to click into and add into their own calendar as well. Then at the bottom, this is actually a hero tile, but we're using it a bit like a call to action web part, where we've got a nice big image. So there's an event coming up, and again, it's a clickable link which can take someone off to register for that particular event. Then our fifth design is one that's mocked up to look like the Delta Airlines, which are using their colors. I really like this kind of dark theme, and actually from a design perspective, dark themes are getting a lot more popular. You can see it isn't completely so dark that we can't see anything, because we're using a light kind of white text over the top of it, and that kind of reddish maroon accent color looks really nice, especially when you're hovering over things. And we can see we've got this little underline to show that's actually the site that we're currently on. Again, we've got this kind of drop-down navigation, and it's worth noting as well, you don't have to have all three kind of layers. So like offices, and then you've got US, Atlanta, New York, LA. Whereas actually under HR, you can see we've only got the kind of second tier. So you don't have to always have that 3 levels. It's not like you have to choose one or the other. You can actually run both at the same time within SharePoint Online. Then we've got this large kind of image area. Obviously, Delta Airlines are all about aeroplanes. So having a kind of image of an airport with a plane in the background just makes it feel kind of on brand. Further down, we then have our news web part, which is a carousel. And again, we've got it automatically scrolling. So a little bit of movement actually is a good thing, especially when you first land on the page. We could actually use these arrows to navigate between the different items and then select the news item to navigate directly through to it. Again, we've got a slightly different category of news here. We've got CEO updates, but this could be like senior leadership updates or updates from a particular area of the organization. I often encourage people to have little short videos. So rather than writing out loads of text, which is often hard for people to consume, people often like videos. So these could also be click-throughs to little videos that people have recorded. Further down, we're then using image web parts, but these again could be call to action web parts, but navigating to people in a very visual way. So whether it's raising a support request, handler's handbook, which is like their policies, their playbooks of how they work, training guides, managers toolkits, all sorts of different things that people might want to access. And then at the bottom, we're using that quick links web part. But again, I really like this kind of thin red line that we're using around this button. But these are typically to key areas that people want: booking holidays, submitting expense requests, policies, branded materials, HR portals. And again, we've got this upcoming events web part, which people can scroll through. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out the video which is on screen now, because I think you'll find it really interesting. Of course, please do subscribe to my channel. It really does help my channel grow. And also, if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop them in the comments box below.